Hello, everybody. This is Sharif Madavi back with another episode of Pep Talk. With me today is Carrie Jacobs. She's with Chu Vision in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and Carrie's the executive vice president of operations, but really, I think she's in charge of everything at that practice. I've known Carrie for a number of years. Carrie, so good to have you.
Hi, Sharif. Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
You know, Carrie, I know you already have an excellent practice, and that's one reason I wanted you to be on, because I think you've got some words of wisdom that could be helpful to everyone out there who's trying to figure out, how do we reopen, how do we do it the right way, and how do we bring back those patients, those customers that we had in our practice before everything changed with the global pandemic. But before we go there, I just want to ask you a little bit about the practice. And I was really struck on your website. You have a great video of Dr. Chu talking about why he went into ophthalmology. Tell us about how you came up with that idea and what the response has been from patients.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for mentioning the website. I think that, when you have a passionate surgeon like Dr. Chu, it's easy to kind of extrapolate those sound bites. And I think when he talks about why he became an eye surgeon, an ophthalmologist, it resonates, I think, with his authenticity. And I think that the patients are drawn into that. They love to hear, not that he's just a great surgeon, because I think every surgeon knows they're a great surgeon, but the why behind why did he become an eye surgeon? Why does he do what he does every day? What makes him get out of bed and stay motivated when we're dealing with, cuts and reimbursement and just all the changes in the medical field? Sometimes it probably is hard to maintain that why, but I think for him, showing his passion, his authenticity, his caring, I think really resonates. And when we really didn't even have to ask him to film that just comes out of him naturally. So, I think his why is, you know, and right now really his why is part of the times, with the whole COVID and reopening. I think that a lot of people are asking themselves, why am I even in this field? Why are we doing what we're doing? And at the end of the day, if you remember, you just want to help people and give them better vision and make a difference in the world and in their lives. I think that's the ultimate why.
Yeah, incredible, incredible. And so, what's been happening? You've been open now a little over a month since the state governor said it's okay to reopen. So tell us what it's been like.
Well, I think all of our leadership skills have been put to the ultimate test. No one would have ever imagined in a million years that this would have ever happened to any of us. And I think, it definitely helped us all see where our grit and perseverance come from, that's for sure. I think what has been really interesting um, has been the backlog of patients, because you have this huge, 2-3 months backlog while you're still bringing in new patients. That's probably been the trickiest thing to navigate, because I think surgery is easy. It's easy to be like, okay, we had to postpone your procedure. You're first on the list. That is actually pretty easy to navigate. But from a clinic standpoint, where do you put all these people? Right? We're already pulling back on the number of patients we're seeing because of social distancing. And now all of a sudden you have this backlog of clinic patients. You have this influx of people that still want to see you, that have never walked through your doors before. Referrals are coming in. And I think that truly has been one of the most difficult challenges to navigate,
Mm-hmm.
because now all of a sudden you're also booking out further than before as well, without seeing the same number of patients per day.
Right.
So I think that's been the biggest challenge.
Right. Well, it's in a way, it's reminds me of the old adage, go slow to go fast. And you said with social distancing, you're just able to see fewer patients at this time. So is he getting frustrated by that because he's not at his regular pace, or is the whole staff frustrated, or how have you all been dealing with it?
Oh, that is such a great question. It's no one's really frustrated. I think what we've learned through this is to have incredible compassion for the team, for each other, for myself. Um, you know what, you can't be perfect, and it is very challenging. And I think that being compassionate has been like the number one mantra over these last few weeks. And really over the last few months of just resiliency, and learning how to pick yourself up when you fall, and learning how to pivot when when you have every best laid plan made, and then the staff members you were expecting to come back decide they're not going to come back, or maybe they come back and decide I'm not ready to be back. So all of a sudden you're just constantly pivoting and changing and trying to keep up with, okay, this is my new challenge for the day or challenge for the moment. And I think that's probably been the difficult part, is how quickly we've had to pivot and navigate, which I'm thankful to be part of this practice, because we've always had that mentality, of being nimble. But with that has its own set of challenges. While, I like to say that when we were closed for that duration, it was like we were preparing to open a brand new business with 20 years of customers waiting to come through the door.
Mm-hmm.
So that, I think, keeping that mentality in place for the team was really important, because it was a whole new reopening, a whole new way of doing business than we've done before. And when you bring back a team that's expecting to go back to the way it was, and then all of a sudden it's completely different. I mean, it doesn't matter how many Zoom calls you have to repair your team, reality still is really tough.
Well, the game is played on the field, right? Not on the sidelines, as they say in sports. How many people, how many on your team?
We have a solid team of about 50
Mhm.
employees, and I would say we have about 75% of them back for their own choosing, for
Yeah.
different life
Yeah.
reasons.
Yeah. And I think some people aren't going to come back, for whatever reason, either theirs or yours. I've had doctors tell me that this was a chance for them to kind of really reevaluate all the staff, because I think you said it well. This is a new day. And there are some people that may not want to ride on that bus, right, so to speak. And that's okay. That's okay. They got to go find what they really want to do. Well, you've got a great, what I call a boutique practice, right? Because you're specializing in helping people live their lives, transform their lives. I mean, I'm just repeating what I heard and read on the website, to be able to see better and live better. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful what you do. And it's a privilege, I think, for all of us to be part of this incredible ophthalmic innovation that goes on. But what do you see? What do you see going forward? And keep in mind, people listening to this, not just ophthalmology. We have dermatology, aesthetic practices, plastic surgery, and others that are into this kind of area where the patient is paying the bill directly. What do you see as you look forward out the next few months and the next few years?
I think one of the biggest surprises that I had coming off of the shutdown was we had this expectation that patients would not proceed with their upgraded procedure or want to have elective services. And I was surprised that there hasn't been one single patient that has downgraded back to a basic procedure.
Mhm.
And the interest in our laser vision correction side of the practice has been exponentially busier than I would have expected as well. We saw immediately when we opened, I think on the LASIK side, there was a little bit of a slow startup, and it was because of parents homeschooling kids. So once school got out, it was like the floodgates opened back up, and everyone who had postponed their procedures were ready to proceed and were referring their friends and family. I think because with masks and all these different, you know, uh, things are, we're making glasses fog, or they're thinking summer and I want to live my life. I've been very, pleasantly surprised at how willing and able people have been to choose elective procedures.
Mhm.
If I were to predict, I don't think it will slow down. I think that this momentum will continue to go. Of course, we're coming into the political season, so that always changes people's confidence. But, that aside, I think that one good thing that has come out of this whole pandemic has been people cherishing and treasuring what they can do for themselves to better their lives.
No question. And I'm curious. Are you seeing a new type of patient coming in, whether it's for LASIK or for lens-based refractive that's saying, you know, something to the effect of, this COVID thing made me really kind of rethink what was important in my life. And I realized that being safe or not being dependent on something in or on my eyes, something in that nature. Are you seeing that at all emerge?
You know, what we're seeing is more children of our patients. Our patients are referring their children in for LASIK. I would say more than half of our schedules typically are patients' children that are coming in because their parents, are thinking too, let's keep you safe. Let's, get those contacts out and, just, give you that freedom to enjoy your life. So that's actually more of what we're seeing. I'm not sure if that's, very related to a practice like ours that is generational, or if that's what people are seeing across the country. That would be curious to know.
It is, and it's still a little early to tell, but there's no question we've all become hypersensitized to keeping our hands clean, not touching our faces. And I just think naturally that could extend into, well, maybe I don't want to be holding something, get it, with germs on it and then putting it in my eye, right? This whole thing with coronavirus has just changed people's thinking. And I think that's something we're all just going to have to monitor. Well, Carrie, thank you. It's been wonderful to have you on. Any last words of wisdom or encouragement that you can offer other practices around the country?
I think just, stay strong, keep smiling, and know that, we're all going to get through this, and tomorrow is going to be a great day.
And by the way, compassion, the thing that you mentioned, it's been so helpful. I saw Dalai Lama. The Dalai Lama was on the news the other morning, and it's exactly what he said the world needs right now. It's more compassion. So
Absolutely.
thank you. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Until next time, I'm Sharif Madavi. Stay safe, wash your hands, and love your pets. Goodbye.